Hi, and welcome to Behind the Booth with Red Barn Productions. I'm Kathy Sell, and I'm the director at Red Barn Productions, and I have my husband with me, Brian Sell, who does tech and set and directing all of the technical aspects. And during our show of recent run of Beauty and the Beast, we told you guys that we would send out a video to explain how the rose worked, as well as the Beast transformation. So I want to give Brian an opportunity to show you guys how the rose works.
Great. So this invention is not mine. This is Mr. Schultz's invention, Tom Schultz, who is the dad of Jessica, who played Belle. So I just wanted to give you guys a demo of this and then talk about how he made this, because it's really kind of cool. So first of all, it's controlled with a remote control, and we did that from the booth back there, sound booth. And the way this works is we would turn it on, and we had 4 different settings on here to drop each set of petals. So I'll give you a demonstration if you watch the leaves here. So this is petal drop number 1, and then this is petal drop number 2, and then this was petal drop number 3, and petal drop number 4. So that's how that worked, and I'll show you on the inside here how he actually made this function. So the way this is put together is each one of these petals has a magnet on it, a high intensity magnet, and it actually gets put on to the top here. And inside of this little component, there's actually 4 ends of a guitar string that go down on the inside, and I'll show you that here in a moment. And so when we run the controller and we push it, it pulls the guitar string, if I do the right one, away from the magnet, and that allows the pedal to drop. So that's how it functions. Okay, so I got this apart here so you guys could see how this works on the inside. There's basically 4 what are called servo motors here, and Mr. Schultz wired them up to the receiver here, and then each guitar string, as you can see, is attached to each corresponding servo. So when we run the remote control, you can see how that moves, and it pulls the guitar string down, and therefore the pedal drops away from the magnet. So you can see that, and then this one, and then this one, and that one. So that's how that works, and it just runs on a bunch of AA batteries that he set it up to power. Pretty ingenious, and I think was very effective.
Thanks, Brian, for showing us how that rose worked, and thank you, Tom Schultz, Jessica and Josh's dad, for building the rose. It was a very cool addition to the show. I want to have Cody come up now, who played the Beast, and explain how the transformation took place and how he transformed from the Beast to the Prince. Go ahead, Cody.
Okay, so like in similar fashion to many illusions, it's actually something a lot simpler than it seems, just pulled off really effectively. So there's 2 parts to this illusion that really make it come to life. The first part is the pre-work that's done. So basically before I come on for the fight scene with Gaston, all the Beast makeup that makes me look like I've got beastly features and stuff, I take all that off beforehand. So when I come back out, I just have just a normal face, no makeup or anything on, and it's hidden. I kind of turn my face away as much as I can from the audience, and ideally no one realizes that he's even changed that much because of the hidden one. And the second part of this is this special cape that we use for the transformation. So throughout the rest of the show, I just have a normal cape, but for the transformation, there's this special one. And there's 2 things about it that make it that way. The first thing is that it's actually ripped all the way down the back. I think you can see the seam there. And it's put back together with Velcro pieces. And the reason for this is, number 1, so that the harness, the little hook that's on the harness, can come out through this back and get hooked up to the cable, because it's underneath my shirt and it's underneath the cape. So there needs to be a hole in the cape for the clip to be able to hook into it. And the second reason for this is when I take the cape off and the Beast is finished transforming, I rip it all the way down the bottom here so I can pull it off from around the cable and it doesn't get stuck on it. So that's the reason why it's ripped. The second thing that makes this cape special, and this is the main part of the illusion, is this pocket that's on the inside of the cape here. And you can see it's a pretty big pocket, but the special thing about this, what it does is when I start to get lifted up and I turn my back to the audience, I take off that wig and the horns. It's all one piece. I just take it off my head and I put it inside the pocket. And that's basically what happens to every single one of the parts of the beast that I'm wearing, the beard, the claws that are just gloves they slide off, and the feet that are just covers that go over the shoes, everything gets slid off and put inside this pocket while I'm under the cover of this cape and under cover of the lights and the fog that's going around, and it's all hidden really well, but all that's happening is I'm just taking stuff off and sticking it in a pocket. So when the transformation finishes, the cape comes off, all the beast appendages and everything are hidden inside this cape, and no one's the wiser as to where they went. I drop it down as a perfectly normal prince.
Thanks, Cody. I do want to add to it, though, that what Cody does and any actor to make this really come off is the acting about how it is and how you kind of curled up. And really, there was a lot he was doing during that time. And we also spent some time with the flyer, your sister, who is McKenna, and lifting it up and timing it with the music. So it really was very effective with that, correct?
Yeah.
You had mentioned the harness. At what point do you put the harness on? Because you have to wear the harness. You were lifted for, it was about 45 seconds, I think. But
Yeah.
when did you put that harness on?
I actually had the harness on the entire time, from the very beginning of the show to the very end of the show. And the reason for that is because it has to go on underneath pretty much everything. The whole costume, the big hairy legs that I was wearing and everything, it has to be on underneath it. So instead of taking all that stuff off at intermission to put the harness on and to put all that stuff back on, I just put it on at the very beginning of the show. It's one of the first things I do when I come out to get ready.
Yeah, so that magic actually started at the beginning of the show and stuff like that. So we hope that gave you some answers to how the rose worked, as well as the beast transformation. Very creative people that we have, and very talented people that God used their gifts to bring that story to life. And we're so glad that you came to see it or to watch this video to see how we did it. And if you can use that for your production of Beauty and the Beast, we'd be happy to share that information with you. God bless. Take care. Bye.